shit if you ain't ready to get hit.
Well, allow me to drop some knowledge.
We have to disagree. I saw the Sailor Moon outfit.
I'm gonna switch back.
Hey,
What up?
what's up, guys? I'm sorry about the wait.
No problem.
Oh,
It's
I
alright.
hope that she's I hope that she's okay, but I did check with her earlier, to make sure that she was able to. And she told me, yeah. So I don't know, but
Best wishes,
And then
gonna get
Megan. I
started.
hope you're feeling okay. Best wishes.
Megan,
I'm doing well. Thank
Megan,
you.
take some time though. You'll be alright.
Right. Cause like, all right.
I'd like to
How y'all
first say
doing,
thank you,
guys?
Goddess, for inviting me. Thank you.
Thanks for being
What's up, Sal? It's
here.
been a
I
while.
appreciate it.
Hey,
Sal,
Jay.
my favorite guy to argue about wrestling with.
Well, I think we won't. I don't think we'll have much
Yeah,
to disagree with on this on the subjects here tonight.
right? Because Vince McMahon is a prick, right?
Like we didn't know.
I mean, there was
Like,
so many things
like
I dislike about him before. Now it's just down to complete shit. All right, so what's up, my BMF army? You already
not like he
know
was
it's your
hiding
favorite
it.
Jedi. It's your favorite Jedi, the BMF goddess. So I'm live tonight with my two co-hosts, Jay. You guys know Jay, and this is Sal, my favorite person to argue about wrestling with. I hope that you are all doing well and starting off your new year well as well. That was too many wells. Okay. Y'all already know the deal though. If you're watching live here, leave your questions below and I'm gonna converse we're gonna converse with you as well. Tonight's discussion is focused mainly on this terrible Vince McMahon lawsuit. Amidst it, all coming out, Vince did indeed retire and his likeness, dealings. He is no longer on the board of TKO either, in which Dwayne The Rock Johnson recently became a part of. So before we get into it, I actually want to ask both of you two questions about the Royal Rumble not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. Number one is, did you guys enjoy the whole event? And number two is, how do you feel about Cody's win and how, he won just for The Rock to take his spot? So you could go first, Jay.
Alright. Well, I enjoyed it because I spent time with you guys, you and your family, so that was fun.
Yeah.
But but I think you enjoy any pay-per-view, especially like the four main ones, the Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and Mania, in the beginning because you're seeing something at first as a fan. But I got to see it again the next day.
I'm sorry,
Now too.
Jay. Give me one sec.
Mhm.
Sherilyn, did you hit join by mistake or did you want to talk with us about this? Just write it below. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I got to see it again as a wrestling fan, but also as an outside critic. I think it was a smart decision to have Bailey win the Women's Rumble and then Cody to win it back to back. Because if you think about it, you don't have, besides Gunther, you don't have a top heel or face to have that moment to win the Rumble.
Woman,
Everybody everybody was like thinking that, oh, Punk should have got it. It would have been too soon for him, and it would have been way too obvious for him because then we all expected we needed something to catch us off guard at some point. Now, do I agree to let Cody win and like you said, get a spotlight taken away? Absolutely not. Not as Ricochet put in his X today. We're toxic fans. We're not. You're doing something that you lose meaning of a tradition of history of wrestling. You know, and then it happened a couple of times we didn't agree with it. Like, for instance, 94. You know, I feel like, in my opinion, my pick was Lex Luger instead of Bret Hart. But they let both of them win. And, you know, and it didn't make sense to Yokozuna to have two match in one night at WrestleMania 10. Same goes with John Cena. Years later, he won the Rumble 2008, but then he challenges Orton in No Way Out instead of waiting for Mania to be built. Because that's a match that's something that me as a true fan wanted to see Cena and Orton at a one Mania match, one-on-one. Triple H got involved. It became a clusterfuck. So now it's happening again. Now Cody won it, and now he's not going anywhere with it. You give him the world title. Now people goes like, oh, but I don't want to see Roman and Cody too. But then let me put reality to it. I don't want to see Cody and Rollins 5 because then you feel that's surprising because now it's going to make it look like Rollins has to win that match because Cody already beaten him at Mania, beating him at Backlash, and then beat him again in the Hell in a Cell with a torn pec. So what are you going to do now? You're going to make him beat Rollins for what?
Right. It's
So,
like super extra.
So it ruins the mystique of the Rumble. The Rumble is supposed to be, even if you don't win at Mania, it's supposed to be special as the company trusts you to evolve. Same goes with Stone Cold. Stone Cold won his first. He didn't main event, but he was building up. And then the next following year, he beat Shawn Michaels, and you got your megastar. The man that took over the Attitude Era on his own at one point until The Rock, Triple H, and Taker finally started following behind him. You're doing that with Cody, but then you're pushing him back again. Like, you're thinking twice if he is the guy. He is the guy. For 2 years straight, he got merch selling up to the top. Every crowd goes nuts when he comes out. He hasn't gotten the boo or the cheers the way he did in AEW or the way Cena and Roman did as a babyface. He's getting a pop the way how Austin was getting in the Attitude Era. So if that doesn't show you that he is the guy that's going to carry this company until they find another top guy, then what's going on?
I think that I agree with everything you're saying, but I also know for a fact that the whole thing with The Rock is mostly to divert attention from what's going on with Vince. That's for one. Two is definitely not because Cody doesn't deserve it or he's not the man. The Rumble for me wasn't as predictable as the last couple of Rumbles. So I like that part. I didn't think they were going to give it to Cody at all. I thought they were just going to erase his chance because of The Rock being present. And look what wound up happening anyway.
Well, we do got what? Another 50 days till Mania. Things could change. Things could change.
Right. I think a lot is going to come out these next few months. What about you, Sal?
All right. Well, let me start again with the Women's Rumble. I was ecstatic that Bayley won. But I disagree with them having Damage Control turn on her on SmackDown. I would have liked to have actually seen her challenge Rhea and beat her and have that image of Damage Control standing there with all the gold. I would have liked to have seen that. But at the same time, I am looking forward to finally seeing babyface Bayley back after a long period of time.
Right.
He's been here for 4 years.
Time to turn.
Then, going back to what Jay said about them not having a major heel to win the Rumble, well, maybe not win the Rumble, but I would say if you're gonna have a major heel to 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 fight Seth Rollins, why not have it be Gunther? I would say have Gunther versus Seth at
Thank you. I
WrestleMania.
was
Have
actually going
Gunther
for him.
win
I
the
was
match
going
and
for him.
hold
Well,
both titles and have him
especially
beat the entire Raw roster until CM Punk is healthy.
but
Then have
especially
him come back and defeat and be the one who defeats Gunther.
and especially like yeah, Gunther could be the one, but I wouldn't mind a triple threat because now there's a huge story going on in that gap where Drew McIntyre technically purposely injured Punk at the Rumble with that DDT because they're showing that shit all over the place, and then for him to do what he did on Raw.
It's
And
definitely not a work.
Gunther could be one of those guys. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
Gunther could be one of those guys that could hold two championships and not lose the popularity or the
He
prestige
could
of either one.
be he could be
And
that
they could be
guy. He could.
one of the first double champions in a long while that would be popular enough and talented enough to carry them both.
DeMarcus, shout out to DeMarcus Uncanny in the wrestler. He says Gunther, um, but his group strong.
But
But make his
what
group
makes this
strong.
group strong?
I understand
Gunther
what
is
he's
a fucking
saying.
he's an army all by himself.
I
But
That's
get
yeah,
why
what
they
he's
call him the
saying
ring general
because
for a reason.
ever since Imperium was brought up to the main roster from NXT, they have seriously lost a lot of their, I want to say, strength that they had in the past.
Well, not really. Like, oh, well, as a group, yes, but I think they were just mainly more focused on Gunther. I think they should bring his regular
yeah,
name back, Walter. Like, I think
yeah.
he
Oh
should
I
have.
agree.
yes,
That
I
yes.
needs
think
to go.
that
I mean,
Gunther
y'all
needs
did it for
to go.
Piper. Please do it for him too, because it's
Yeah,
so
because
stupid.
since they brought back Matt Riddle's full name, they brought back Austin Theory's full name. Like, might as well Triple H. You know, that's you got to think about it. These guys are Triple H's babies. You could say he
The
had them in NXT.
Now, I would like to add an addendum to that too. I think the whole Roman Cody Rock situation is a personal punishment by Triple H for the throne segment that Cody did from
all
AEW.
right,
I
they brought back
believe
Keith
that The
Dunn
Rock
too. I'm
and
happy
Triple
about that
H
I'm happy
because
about that
that
too.
are
good shit
petty,
needed to
petty
go.
people, and they are punishing this young up and coming guy because he is more popular now than, or even as popular now as they were, and they do not like it. So
Well,
I think that I understand I'm in the minority on this. I have admitted I have never been a Rock fan despite everyone else loving him. I have never been a Triple H fan despite other people loving him. So I agree. So I get I'm in the minority on this, but I believe that Triple H and The Rock are petty and they are jealous and they are trying to deny the fans what they actually
well,
want.
All right,
well,
you first of all, you got to think about how much Triple H actually has pulled now that
well.
there are a lot
I was
of
just gonna
people involved
say
now.
that. Well, people
Don't
gotta
ever say
remember.
something like that about my man Triple, okay? Shit. The Rock, I've never been like a Rock fan per se, but I respect the man. You got to. He is
Well,
the man. Period.
Yes, but what has he done to earn this championship match? What?
no,
Nothing.
nothing. You're
Nothing. You gotta
absolutely right.
understand. It's just business. All it is business. The Rock. If they're gonna be stupid enough to let him beat Roman, I'm not gonna like that. But it's money. It's money and it's attention.
And
I
That's
understand that part,
that's
and
what
here's the
people do.
thing.
What they didn't want you to think about this. Money, number
It's
one. That's the money match. Everybody want to see that. We've been wanting to see that for years. It's just that now that it was Cody's turn, nobody wants to see it
well, think
now. But it's
about
here.
it.
So
Well, think about it
everybody
this
that
way
was like,
too.
yeah, we want him to come. Come on, let's go for years. They've been like doing this fan shit where they want this dream match with them. Well, now you have
Exactly.
it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's something that, sorry to cut you guys off, but here's also a thing about this too. Now, I'm reading comments, I'm reading the spoilers, you could say, all the inside of wrestling about what the whole thing with The Rock. Don't get me wrong. I was a fan of The Rock, but of course, you know me, like we all grew up in the Attitude Era more than anything else. We were more Austin than Rock. But
Mhm.
you got to look at it this way as well. Without The Rock, Austin wouldn't have a good rivalry in his 3 WrestleManias he had with The Rock. There was no one that couldn't match with him. And you had The Rock for that. And The Rock even said it. Without The Rock, there's no Austin. And without Austin, there's no Rock. They helped each other. Same goes
Absolutely.
years further down with Hogan. You needed a mega star with Hogan to match with him to come back. And who you had? They were going to give him
Roddy
Austin,
Piper. You
but
had
you
Roddy
needed The
Piper.
Rock. You needed The Rock. Basically,
Before
The Rock is
wait,
that
so
guy. The Rock,
I'm sorry.
sorry, The Rock is that guy that could match with megastar top base that hold the company. Hogan was the 80s. Austin was the 90s to the 2000s. Then you had Cena in the late 2000s. Without
Why you sound
Rock,
a
you can't.
robot now?
Hmm?
Is that just is that just mine?
What is
I didn't hear you.
it?
You can hear him well?
Yeah, I hear
That sound like a
you.
robot?
Okay, so then maybe it's just my side. Continue.
It's all right. But yeah, so that's what it is. Now, Roman is the biggest thing after Cena now because Cena is not going to carry the company like Roman has. Did any of us agree that Roman should have been the top guy? Not all of us agreed with it, but he did it. He made the top guy. And guess what? You need a guy that can match with him. And the only ones that can match with him is The Rock. Yes, we wanted that dream
True.
match for years.
It's one
We
of the
did.
reasons why he's been champion this long.
Mhm.
It's real. I mean, even
But
though
My
there's
question
a few
is,
guys that I think deserve the championship.
and,
if
Yeah.
I could just
and that's
interject
the thing.
for a minute.
Mhm.
My question is, everyone was mad with Brock Lesnar being a part-timer. Everyone was mad with uh, Roman being mad with Roman being a part-timer. They were mad with like Logan Paul and all that stuff. Why does The Rock get a bye when he just shows up out of the blue
But
to
you,
take a spot or a
but we're not
match
happy
with
about
The Rock?
that either. Like a true fan, we're not happy about that either. Because think about this: the only reason why people hated these part timers because they're taking spotlights from wrestlers that worked their asses off to get that brass ring that Vince talks about. But here's the thing that what BMF said: money. Lesnar sells tickets. Roman sells tickets. I don't know about Logan, but when you got these guys like Lesnar, Roman, and hey, guess what? Even Taker was a part timer, but I was excited when I hear he's gonna show up in one night. I'll be like, oh shit, I'm tuning in. It's all money because they know they need to bring more of the old fans as well to enjoy wrestling as well. So, but the only thing that I don't agree is something that Seth Rollins said on Raw. I don't agree that a part-timer should hold a title hostage for a long time when people want opportunity of it. So that's why they brought the world title. And the way how Roman did that promo, it is true. Now that world heavyweight title doesn't look prestige as when Triple H had it, as when Taker had it, Batista had it. Now it looks like it's another secondary title, and the Intercontinental title is a third place. When the Intercontinental title was a second place, knowing that all right, he could handle that title. Now let's test him for the world title, and that's what they did with Brett. That's what they did with Shawn. That's what they did with Austin, The Rock, Triple H. Anybody that hold the Intercontinental title show that they could be second best to see if they can now be the best of all time,
All
and
right,
that's what
guys.
and it's true.
After that, yeah, we're gonna get into this Vince mess real quick.
Let's do it. That pervert.
Again,
You just start with the
I gotta
reports because
say,
those
it's not like he was
people
hiding it.
know
It's not like he
everything.
was hiding it.
Hey, listen, if you're working with a bunch of sexy ass divas your whole life, your manhood starts talking.
Or how about you're a married man, have some dignity, have some respect, have some honor.
He is
All
a
right,
With a
billionaire.
I'm gonna run through it real quick. World Wrestling Entertainment founder Vince McMahon stepped down from his role at the company and its parent company Friday, the day after an employee filed a lawsuit accusing him of sex trafficking, abuse, and sexual assault. McMahon resigned as TKO executive chairman from the TKO board of directors and will no longer have a role with WWE. WWE President Nick Khan wrote in an emails to employees. Former employee Janelle Grant filed a lawsuit that stated that she was the victim of physical and emotional abuse, sexual assault, and trafficking at WWE. Um,
poor
Vince,
woman. Poor woman.
Vince McMahon's co-defendant in the bombshell civil trafficking lawsuit is now claiming he is also a victim of McMahon's actions in a stunning turn against Vince McMahon. John Laurinaitis, a former head of talent relations and a fellow defendant in the lawsuit filed by the ex-employee. Mr. Laurinaitis denies the allegation in the misguided complaint and will vigorously be defending these charges in court. Not the media, Laurinaitis' lawyer says. Um, Laurinaitis is a victim in this case, not a predator. The truth will come out. It's about to get real ugly, right?
It
Of course
is
he's gonna say that.
well,
Of course laryngitis. You think laryngitis of all
Right.
just like
Of
McMahon
course,
is gonna drop to his
he's
knees and say, "I'm
taking
guilty. I did it. I'm
action
sorry.
early. He
I'm
doesn't want to
guilty. I
be
did it.
implemented in it.
I'm
Only,
guilty. I did it."
only time will tell because this is just beginning
well,
to fall, to
like
fall
with the
down.
whole shit that Vince is going through is basically is what any billionaire celebrity is going through or about to be billionaires. Think about it. Look at take one prime example. Chris D'Elia was accused about a lot of stuff. The lawyer defended him, found proof. He wasn't guilty. He was not guilty.
Right.
Why? Because look, Vince, here's the thing about Vince. Yeah, was he a pervert? Was he all that? He showed it on TV. Yeah, you could tell. He's a man from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s got so
A man with power.
used to those things that I could do this to a woman because I want to. He realized times change. Women could speak up and be like, "Yo, motherfucker, like, what are you doing?" But at the end, here's the thing. You know what Vince is also? A businessman that knew who to pay a certain amount of his employees. What the bitch? No, I'm not saying Vince is not guilty because it shows evidence that he's guilty for him to do all that, to step down and people questioning him like Triple H and Cody. They got questioned about that, the allegation. They ignored it. They answered something differently. But let's just hypothetically, with Laurinaitis, Bruce Pitcher, all those people that been Vince's right hand. We can't think about Pat Patterson because he passed away, and even though he was gay, so I don't think he will know any about that stuff. Or if he did, he kept his mouth shut around those times.
Right.
But he
But
wasn't
think of it
in a
this way.
closet for many years. But he was in a closet for many years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But think of it this way. Oh, but he came out for a while. The Rock even confessed it a long time ago. But
Brock Lesnar has been implicated as well. Apparently, he's being accused of being one of the guys that Vince trafficked women to. Janelle Grant
so
herself.
that's what I'm saying.
I don't get that. Like, why? Why though? First of all, you're married. Second of all, we all know. Okay, wrestlers on the road, they probably do whatever they do, what men do.
Well, look at
And
the scandal with Mickey James and John Cena. They had an affair while Cena was married. Mickey James was with what's that guy's name? Kenny Dystra at the time. It sometimes, I hate to say it, shit happens, but that whole trafficking thing, it got me.
It's like you don't even need to do that. You
Yeah.
wrote fucking letter.
So
Like you guys, you could get it. You don't have to. I don't. It's
I
just
don't know.
why. It's like
To
it's
me,
just a
with
predatory
with
thing. There's no
with
other
events,
reason.
like if Vince is a cause of that, the question is who truly knew, who didn't truly know, and got caught in the fire of it.
That's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
main thing. That's the
A
main
lot
thing.
more people
And
are gonna
everyone is
be
in
staples
now
to
that
this.
because people know, like, because they knew that Lesnar was close to Vince, because Lesnar only trusted Vince when it came to business. But with that whole other stuff, because maybe it could be true. Maybe that's why he got Sable. Remember, Sable was still married to what's his
Mark
name, Mark Merrow,
Marrow.
and she had
And
an
she
affair.
fucked his
So,
career. She fucked his career.
well,
She's
guess what? Now she's making more money because it's Lesnar's money. Mark Merrow, who the fuck was he in wrestling? But at the end, you know,
He would have been a lot. He would have
he
been great
would.
if it wasn't for her. He would have been great if it
Well,
wasn't for her.
I don't know. It's agree or disagree, but that's what I'm saying. Now we don't know the crossfire. In my opinion, like, did Lesnar really evolved with that? We don't know. Sometimes, yo, and I hate to say it, BMF, I don't know if you want to agree with me on that, but there be some bitches out there. Bitches, when I mean bitches, some are greedy and be like, you know what? Now that I'm seeing that the company is shifting, making more money, I want to sue these fuckers and make allegations. Some of them have been doing that lately.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but
that
Jay,
it's
at
I'm
the
not saying,
same
not
time,
saying
I'm not saying,
it's
he
not
McMahon
possible.
had paid
What I'm
her
saying
a
is
non-disclosure
the
agreement and then
the
stopped
kind
paying
of
her, and then so that factors into it too.
the kind of the
Into
kind
it.
of jail time you would do for filing a report this serious and it being fraudulent is crazy. Over the
and it's
years,
been years. And they're not talking about recently, like this happened 10 years ago. So the question is, why now?
Well,
that's a question
I,
I
in
used
my
to
opinion, is that, and I'm sure Goddess would agree with me in this, as being a one herself, it takes victims of those kind of things a long time to build up courage enough, or have a good
have enough
support system enough
evidence,
to
Yeah.
be able to come forward with with those kind of things.
which is why you see a lot of people, famous people getting allegations against them of things that happened really long
Look
time
at
ago. First of all,
look at Diddy.
as a former victim of sex crimes myself, it's completely different because it wasn't with anyone famous. So I can imagine it being someone in a spotlight for you to even like he said, have the courage to bring a story out. And she's dealing with powerful people. Vince McMahon is a powerful person. Think of how much courage you have to build up to say, okay, maybe I can do this, and doing it on your own. Because right now we're not hearing from any other women yet. I mean,
Well, Tori kind of
I
that
made a
think that's
little.
all
first that
bullshit.
that
No
first
amount of
that
money,
first
power,
arrest that
or
he had
era you were
or whatever.
born in gives you the right to take advantage of another human against their
But
will.
think of it this
You
way.
remember when he resigned the first time, not that long ago? That whole case got swept under. He came back. So imagine you being a victim of a crime like that, just thinking to yourself, damn, look, he just got a pat on the ass and he was right back where he was. Wouldn't that make you feel like, um, how you call it?
Vengeful.
Discouraged. It'll make you feel discouraged. Like, can I really do this? Can I stand on my own? I'm just saying to try to think on the mind of why she's
I
coming forward now.
could also be like, look, rest in peace to Easy E. But what the Easy E always says: bad publicity is good publicity. How do we
They,
not know
they
that this is doing
could
publicity?
have been. They could. No, this is the worst kind of publicity. This is the publicity that will ruin your career and cancel you in this cancel culture. They probably had to be building, her and
I'm
her
about
lawyer
to
had to
say
be building
this
this
is
case.
different
They had to
from,
be building the
you
case
know,
for a long time in order to bring it out, because this is the type of thing that if you don't have solid proof, it's going to go right out the door.
Well, let's just say this: whatever Vince is doing to prepare himself to defend himself, he better bring a bulldog of a lawyer to show evidence that she was bullshitting. Same goes for her. She got to bring a bulldog of a lawyer to show proof that she's telling the truth and Vince is a piece of shit.
How I personally feel about, this situation, I like to believe the innocent until proven guilty and all, but I don't want to come down too harsh or say too much because we still don't know everything. But over the years, we have heard from WWE stars themselves, you know, past and present, that say how much Vince is known to be a stubborn asshole in many different ways. So much, it's not just a matter of shock, it's a matter of could he
And
go
think
that far?
and
What
think
scares
about it.
me is how many other wrestlers
Well, he
besides
sure as
Brock
hell could
will
think
be
he could go that far
implicated next.
with all
They
this
saying Triple H for
money
one.
and power, with all his
Shut
money and
up. They're questioning they're
sorry,
questioning
sorry.
whether Triple H knew about this, right? And honestly, just the thought of that made me sad because I respect Triple so much. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. I don't want to see him in that light. But I had to be prepared that a lot of people that we like and respect might be implicated next. Did you guys hear the statement that Maria, how you say her name? Maria Kanellis said on Twitter?
Nah.
No, I didn't see that.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. She says all the news coming out is horrible. Many of us experienced or heard rumors of different levels of evil for years. Some tried to speak up to build momentum to change the culture in WWE. Many times we've been called bitter or crazy. Others have been paralyzed by fear. I just hope justice is served, and I hope that this brings some people peace. I pray for all the victims and the ones who have spoke up, the ones no longer with us, and the ones who suffer in silence. Those words are heavy. So talk about people knowing shit. A lot of people.
Well,
I think a lot of people know
I
shit.
feel like if any of them would have talked, you got to put the list in. You got to put Sable. You got to put Sonny. You got to put
Back
Terry Reynolds.
when they were the divas,
They were
not
the
the stars.
divas. You gotta. They the
They were
only ones that
respected
know the truth more.
only for their bodies.
Because what did the Attitude Era and even WCW with the Nitro Girls? What did it sell? Sex sells. It got more of the audience, more attention for them, but in a different way. Now they're not divas; they're superstars, and they're great wrestlers, great talent,
Yes,
great
Jay, you've got
athleticism. But
to
back
admit
then,
there's a
but back
big
then,
difference between hiring these women for their sex
but
appeal and having them
that's
sell sex
but
appeal
that's what
than
I'm saying.
treating
Because
them
look
like
now,
they're actual
okay,
prostitutes,
but
which they were
like,
probably not.
but look at it
They were
this way. But look
probably
at it this
not.
way. Look at it this way. What was Trish before she became a legend of a seven-time women's champion? She was a manager for Tess and A-Train at the time. She was a sex appeal person, and maybe some of them spoke up like, no, I don't want to do this shit. And Vince probably did something backstage that made them go back to do it again, do it again, do it again with the whole bra and panty match, evening gown match, all the stuff was sex appeal. But why they don't do it now? Maybe because Triple H finally put his foot down, saying no.
The network,
Stephanie McMahon put her foot
the
down too. No,
networks, the networks don't allow it anymore, which is why they can't really curse, or they're very um scripted by the network not to do certain things.
but as,
Also,
So
but
it's a
that
as
I
I'm
know
different
saying,
world
that has
now.
something to do with it.
Your audience
But
grows, you
women
have to
like
grow.
China
Your audience
and
grows, you have to grow.
and think about the
did help evolve that into superstar
yeah.
versus diva.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you got to talk to them and see if they open up because you know who's been opening up from 1996 to 2000 to early 2000. Gail Kim, incredible fucking athlete, but she was a sexy appeal in WWE with the whole Daniel Bryan storyline that she's this and that and all this other shit.
Yeah.
But she opened up. She told. Why do you think they never called her to make an appearance? Because she opened up. She said she's basically before Punk. She did the first pipe bomb behind closed doors. So that's why the whole allegation that Vince is doing, it could be real. Like now, Tori opened up. Now you show me the tweets of Maria Kanellis. Tori opened up too. She said there was things that Vince wanted us to do. We weren't comfortable to do it. Now, they're that's what makes it look like, damn, Vince is in deep shit because now all these divas that were divas are opening up like, yo, what the fuck? Okay, now we're gonna open up. Let's start opening up because of one person.
I do agree with Maria though. I hope the truth and everything comes out because this is a epidemic in all around the world. Sex trafficking, child trafficking.
It's gonna be like another Epstein episode.
I was going to say it's been an epidemic for years. Rich white men thinking that they can get away with anything they want to do to whoever they want to do it just because they're rich or powerful or both.
And other people around them enabling it. And it's like, oh, I even tell like my coworkers at work, like, one of these guys is disrespecting you and sexual in a sexual nature, like you gotta report it. I definitely you have to. What this woman is doing, she's opening up Pandora's box, but she's also this type of shit happening if
Like,
if they close the book on Vince and justice prevails, it'll just scare someone else into not doing it. The ripple effect would be positive. Shit like that.
And going back to what you were saying, Jay, going back to what you were saying about, yeah, there are a lot of girls out there who will make these allegations just because they want to get in on some of that money or they want something.
And it has happened.
Want something else.
And it happened to Brian Callen. It happened to not Dane Cook, Chris D'Elia. It happened to a lot. Why? Because there are people that are scammers like that. But here's the thing too. Right. Like with Vince, that what makes it believable and not believable, because the adult version of me is like, it's believable because of what we've seen behind and on screen in WWE, what he was doing, what he was about. But what makes it not believable, I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this, our inner child. He's the reason why I fucking love wrestling. Without him,
nobody's taken away, which is the little respect that I did have for him. Nobody is taken away
because of that. But because of that,
this has nothing to do with what he's done.
Right?
No,
exactly.
No.
It's an abuse of power.
What I was trying to say is it made it
need to be dealt with. And I say that all the way from the bottom because it happens on the indie scene, indie wrestling. There are piece of shit promoters and wrestlers that do shit to women in the locker room. This happens a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
It goes all the way to the top.
It makes us
people like motherfucking shitty ass Velveteen Dream, that piece of shit. I was such a big fan of his. When it comes to crime on women like this, I take it personally because I've been there and it's not fucking okay. And all them motherfuckers needs to pay.
Exactly.
And Vince.
Like for instance, because now it's gonna make me think, what about Ted Turner? What about Eric Bischoff? Now it's gonna make me think, were they involved in their own little scheme as well? It makes me think like these guys talk about dreams comes true. Like they made us believe the world of dreams because the superstars they brought in WWE and at the time WCW. But if they were doing that stuff, like what I was trying to say earlier, it's gonna make me lose respect. Like fuck. So you're telling me all these wrestlers are doing that shit too because the owner does it.
Right.
Damn, so why the
That's gonna be the hard part.
and it's
about
gonna be and it's
it's
gonna get to the
acceptance.
point like, why the fuck am I watching this then if they're like this? And we don't want to go through that because look, don't get me wrong. There's sometimes on Mondays and Fridays I'm like, yo, I hope I leave work early because I want to catch Raw. I want to catch SmackDown. Sometimes on Wednesday, if I'm really in the mood, then I want to catch a little bit of AEW, see what I've been missing. But now, because of these allegations, it makes you think like, yo, who the fuck is really innocent and who's not? Because if they're all doing this shit, why the fuck am I saying, damn, I wish I could be like Roman. I wish I could be like Cody. I wish I could be like them. But they
Well,
doing stupid shit behind
this
back.
is
I'm
the
just saying
time.
explanation.
This is the time where they're gonna clean house. So we're gonna know in the next few months.
Yeah.
Trust that. But I do definitely I have to go, guys. But I appreciate you guys being here like always. We definitely gotta do this again soon. Cause it's not gonna be the last of it. There's gonna be so much more to talk about. I know it. Thank you to the BMF Army. You already know. Subscribe to BMF Goddess on YouTube. Any last words, guys?
Go ahead.
You go ahead, Jay.
Are you
Sal.
pulling for Vince, or do you think he didn't do it? What's the final?
I
Only truth would
believe
tell.
that Vince did everything and he deserves everything that is coming to him. So that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents.
I'm just gonna say, even if he did or didn't, if he did, then he should rot in hell. And if he didn't, I feel bad for the fucking guy, but whatever, you know. But in the word of what BMF said earlier, even if he did, fuck it, you know, it's done is done. He'll pay for it one way or the other. But we just got to see the result. I can't say I'm rooting for him or I'm rooting against him. We just got to see the result. We got to see what happens.
Right.
Because, like I said, the
And
only one that truly knows.
that feels like I don't want it to be true.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so we'll see what happens. You know, we got what? Like I said earlier, what we got? Like 50 days before WrestleMania. Things can happen. Things could change. You know, and I just want to say this. I want to say one thing before we all go, because this person said this when we all got on. Razorblade 316. I'm with you. Hashtag we want Cody. I'm behind y'all ass with that too.
Do remember that even though they set this up with The Rock, Cody did say maybe not at WrestleMania, but it's gonna happen. Cody's gonna get his shot. He deserves it. It's coming.
He wants that
Love
title.
you guys. I'll talk to you soon. May the force be with y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you guys so much for letting me